Hello everyone and welcome back to TNJ Adventures. This time I'm going to show you how I installed the steering wheel in my sim rig. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe and comment. Designed and created this adapter. You can see it doesn't have the infill cleared yet, so because I've got some parts that I needed to be empty, the 3D printing process has to fill these parts with some plastic so that it supports the other plastic. So as you can see here, these walls need to be broken. You see that's not very hard to do, but these walls support all the other walls that are above it. And also here in this hole, this inside supports this outside. So you will see that this adapter has to go in here. I need to cut some parts of this wall because I didn't know exactly. I didn't want to risk and design it before with the cut. So you'll see that this one goes in here, and inside here we're going to have a threaded bar that hopefully will lock with a screw going through it. So right now we're going to clean it and we're going to test it. So we're gonna screw it in. So you can see it's really good, fits really well. Now I just need to cut these small side walls. This is how the adapter looks like cut, and you will see that it fits right in here. See, so it already mounts perfectly. So right now not all the force goes into the screws. Some of the force goes into these two tabs on the sides. The adapter hole is just the perfect size so that this filleted bar screws into it, which is what I really wanted. As you can see, and hopefully we can still put a nut in there. So in order to distribute force, I made this in such a way that it would fit one of these, but it seems it's too tight. Okay, so I might have to do it without this. I'm just gonna put one of these. And the nut inside. Okay. We need to also put a nut on here, on the other side, so it looks like this on this side. Still moving, and it might still move, but I'm hoping that nut will tighten. On this other side, we will have to make a support for this bearing. Okay. But we need to tighten this whole set together, then maybe another nut. So I would need another washer like this on the other side that's a bit smaller, another one that's a bit bigger for this bearing. So I might modify one and maybe buy another one that's a bit bigger for this side, but I'm hoping that when I put the nut inside, which goes almost perfectly, does have some play, but I'm hoping that I can tighten the whole thing together like this. So this will be the whole bearing thing, and then of course I need something to tighten to the steering wheel on this other side. So that's how the whole thing will look like. Of course I also made this hole, as I told you, in order to put a screw through this rod if it won't transmit the motion properly. And I'm probably going to do that because I don't want all the force feedback to be just through these washers and nuts. Having this screw in here will block the adapter to the rod, and then we need to find out a way to do the same thing on this side with the steering wheel. The bearing is just an addition so that not all the weight of the steering wheel will go on the adapter and on the Logitech base. So I'll have some additional support here, and then just the rotation on the other side for the adapter. This is how the whole steering wheel situation works like. So as I showed you, I printed this piece, 3D printed it, such a way that I've got the holes that go to the Logitech G25, and it's got a hole inside and one more hole on the side. So the hole inside is for this rod, which is going to be the steering rod. Then the hole to the side would be for a locking screw, and I drilled a hole through the rod, and as you can see, I've already got this screw put inside. So after I made a hole, I also made a thread inside it so that the screw would thread into the rod. Then I kind of tried to do this in parallel. I put a nut on the inside and one of these groover washers. So in here onto the plastic we've got the groover washer with a nut all the way up, and then I came with this big washer and one of these groover washers again and this nut, and I tighten it so that the plastic would tighten on the other groover washer, and also I tried to make it in such a way that when I tighten this, the hole lifts and aligns with the hole in the rod, so the hole in the plastic aligns with the hole in the rod, and it did. I'm pretty confident in this. I'm probably gonna do something like maybe nail polish or something into this nut too, so that I lock it and it doesn't want to unscrew. These groover washers should do exactly that, should lock the nut and the washer so that they don't, the nut doesn't unscrew. But you know, with all the vibration and stuff going on, I'm not that confident that this will hold. Also, I put this screw in here so that the rod doesn't rotate inside this plastic piece. Then I've got here a bearing. This is a bearing that I took out of my Justy transmission. It's not that good. I tried to clean it, and I'm gonna put some grease inside it. And the position of this is not yet defined, but I'm gonna define it. Then here, the same thing. I made a hole in the steering wheel, and I made a thread in it so that this screw will thread in, and also a hole in the rod so that this screw goes into the rod. It's not a through hole in the rod, just maybe 2.5 or something. So I'm not sure about this. I didn't want to make a through hole because in here the steering wheel has a really hard metal insert. So this is aluminum, cast aluminum on the outside, but inside it's got a steel and I think it's treated steel insert, so it's pretty hard to drill in. So I just made a hole on this side and made a hole through the rod, not all the way, and again with some groover washers, and I didn't put anything on this side. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. I've got some bigger washers too, but we'll see. Also here I have some groover washers and some normal washers. I don't really like this washer because it doesn't seem to align properly with the bearing, but I'm gonna see if I can do something about that. I'm gonna try to put a different washer in here, but of course right now I've got this side as it will go inside, and now I have to take out the steering wheel. I'm gonna leave the bearing here, but take out the steering wheel, put in the rod, and try to see how everything lines up so that I can make a holder for this bearing. And then after this is held in place in the rig, I can put the steering wheel in, and that would be it.